Ops Insiders. My name is Kiva Slade, and I wanted to pop in for those who may be a bit on the fence as it relates to the Director of Operations program. I am currently in round 7, and for those who do not know, was already and am already a certified online business manager. And for some, it's the question of, hey, you're already a certified OBM. Why are you doing the DOO? And I think that was one of the things I had to process through, in the sense of, was I just trying to be like eternal perpetual student and forever in learner mode, knowing what my strengths finders are? Or was this really something that I felt that I needed um, to advance my skills and also just feel more solid in what it was that I was doing? Okay, so when I think about the Director of Operations program, and for me, it really kind of weighed heavily on me as a certified OBM. And as someone who I haven't had recent like corporate experience. I've been a stay-at-home mom. I've homeschooled my kids. So all of this was rather new to me, in the sense of last August. No, the August before that, so 2019, when my daughter was going into her senior year of high school, and I was like, what am I about to do with my life? And started a VA business because honestly, I didn't even know that people were doing those kinds of things. So for me, it kind of was VA. Quickly realized, like within a month and a half, that that was so not my wheelhouse. And I went through the certified OBM training and still felt like I love my OBM training. I adore my ladies and gentlemen. I am very active in the community there as well. But I really felt that when I started speaking to business owners who were 7-figure business owners, and even then hearing from those that were 8-figure business owners, that there was more that I needed. There was more that I felt I needed in order to be more solid in the services and what I was providing for them. And that's where I feel the DOO has complemented what I've learned in the OBM program, and actually broaden my understanding of quite a few areas, in particular human resources, in terms of team management, which is super important and so critical in what the work that most of us do. So that was important for me, and I feel like the two married well together. So if anyone out there is a certified OBM and you're kind of like, Kiva, are you really sure? I'm totally sure. Do it. It is so well worth it. Hey, Gab. So, I mean, it's just one of those things that when you are dealing with those businesses that, or even a business that's 6-figure and wants to get to 7, I just feel that there are some elements that you need to have in your toolkit. And a lot of what I've been learning in the DOO program has actually done that and more for me. Oh, goodness. What eventually kind of got me to sign up, if I'm honest, it was like December, and it was like price, and I was just like, hey, Lynette. I was just like, hey, I need to do this. And I had thought about applying, not applying. I'm sorry, it was November. And I kept going back and forth. Simona, yes, girl. Come on in here, Simona. Simona, you would be amazing. I know your love for metrics. We can talk about that too. But yes, as an OBM, I was really like, do I do this now or do I wait? Do I do it now? Do I wait? Do I do it now? And I felt like literally I was thinking about this on a regular basis. And my husband was just like, if I hear like, oh, and we live outside of DC, he works federal government, so we're acronyms all the time. He was like, if I hear this DOO thing one more time, and I was just like, hey, Sarah. He was just like, what in the world are you talking about all the time? And I was just like, it was weighing on me and gnawing at me. And so I was like, I gotta go do this. I have to go do this program, and I have to do it now. And I have to say, when I think about how it's structured, a huge part of it for me in the deciding was, there is a selection process. This is not, oh, I have the money to pay for this, Natalie's letting me in. No, Natalie doesn't work that way. Okay, you are going to, hey, Jenna. So you are going to have an interview. Okay, if she does not know you like that and have seen you working in the field, you are going to have an interview. So it is not, I have money, I get entry. It is, I have money, I'm going to have an interview, and it will be decided if I get the entry. But it's not even so much, it's the selection process, but it's really the program itself and the support. the calls that we have, the expert coaches in those particular niche subject areas are so helpful and so informative. And it's just like, some days it feels like information overload, but it is like the best information overload that I would want to have. I have been exposed to some areas that I did not think were my natural inclinations. My kids will tell you, my parents, my husband, like, I like people, but I also like being by myself. But something about team management, and I guess it's my, Natalie and I were talking about my Enneagram 8. I am like the protective challenger. So I am all about protecting my team and like making sure that everybody is so well taken care of. And so it's funny, like I've been so drawn to HR, even though my heart is still loving some data and some metrics, Simona. But it has been so super helpful just to see the different aspects of the work that we could do. And for me, I was never an implementation OBM, so that wasn't an issue for me. Like that whole I'm not doing the doing thing, I was already not doing. Okay, so for me, that wasn't a huge roadblock or kind of hurdle I needed to overcome. But it was definitely like, I can not do all the doing, if that makes more sense. Okay, so I can literally now almost cherry pick, like, I want to do this kind of doing and I want to do this kind of doing, but I do not want to do that kind of doing. And I love that this program has opened my eyes to that because I didn't understand that previously. So when I think about the program, I love the accountability, not only with my weekly check-ins with my accountability coach, shout out to Teresa, but also within the group. Our cohort, we keep each other accountable. We are like on each other about things. We are so sharing and so giving. Oh my gosh, I would not do this without having a shout out to Megan, who is like our ClickUp expert, and she so freely gives and shares with each of us. Like, oh, I put that into a ClickUp template. Here you go. We're all like, what do we get her? Like, she needs like major gifts and surprises because the love for her is so real. But everybody shares like all of the different things, and our across the pond cohorts, they're sharing. So it is so much of it's a community, but and we are so about the collaboration and not competition, because honestly, when you start figuring out all the things you can do as a DOO and all the things you do not have to do as a DOO, and you decide for yourself what really works for you in this moment, you don't really worry about competition, because quite honestly, there's only one of you. And with your secret sauce, plus what you learn in the DOO program, please, the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit for you to decide, carve out for you what that looks like. What is it that it is that you're like, right now this feels really good for me? Then do that. And you can actually do that because businesses need it. Businesses need someone to focus on their team management. Because let's be honest, we are all not very good at that. Businesses need metrics and data. Let's be honest, if you've been on the back end of some of these businesses, honey, they're not tracking anything. Nothing. And when they are tracking, you're like, who needs to know that? Nobody. So with that being the case, you can so carve out and make for yourself like the business that you have always wanted to have in your heart of hearts. And guess what? If next year you decide, I think I want to pivot a bit and I want to focus more on this part of this, you can niche it down even further. Like, seriously. Okay, so I am popping on here today to share that. Ooh, y'all are chatty over there. Yes, Simona, you won't regret it. I agree with Jenna. Yes, she vets the participants, Sarah. Girl, this is not no one come all. This is not. We got red velvet ropes going up around here. So loving it so far. Awesome. Such a good point. Yes, Lynette. Okay. Hey, Latrella. So it's just like we have all of this amazingness that's going on. So as far as like I could talk about some outcomes and results, honestly, I'm still in the program. We are approaching, I think we have less than a month before our certification. And that's one of the parts of the program that I think is huge, is like that next 3 months. Because how many of us have like, oh yes, I'm starting online business, and the next thing you know, it's like, okay, what do I do now? what's next? What does this look like? And I see that with a lot of people, and some other things that I speak to them about is that they don't feel like they have that support to know what this looks like moving forward. And so, with that being the case, the next 3 months of the program, actually helping you craft your business the way you would have it to be, is so super valuable. Um, and already I've implemented things in my clients' businesses where they're just like, thank you so much for saving us from ourselves. So, if you have like any questions at all and you're sitting there saying, Kiva, I'm either a certified OBM, I've been a homeschool mama, jewelry maker on Etsy, and you're like, I'm not really sure if I'm qualified to do this, put your application in. Natalie will definitely look through it, and you might be surprised at the areas where you don't really see your management capacity, but she does. Okay, I have previous like legislative director experience on the Hill, but there was a time, like a long gap in between that. So you are still a leader, and you may not be showing up in the ways that you might think leadership looks, or you might feel like, oh, I didn't really like just come out of corporate. It's okay. Okay, there's a lot of things that can always be taught, but there's some things that, let's be honest, some of the soft skills that are so much more important are not easily taught, and you might already be possessing those, and you don't see yourself in that position. But I'm here to tell you, take that first step, complete the application. All right, if you have questions, feel free to tag me below in the comments or anything else like that. You can probably find me somewhere. People say I'm everywhere. I'm really not, but they say that I am. So if you have questions and you're like, okay, I'm an OBM, should I really do this? Yes, you should definitely do this. More and more businesses are coming online. More and more larger businesses are realizing that, hey, in order to continue being the large business that we are, we need some systems. We need certain things in place that we do not have in place. We need to hire better. We need to hold on to people better. There are so many things that you can do. And metrics, data, we've already talked about it. Most of them aren't tracking anything, or they could be tracking so much better in order to make better and more informed decisions about their future growth. So, if you have any questions, let me know. Tag me below. Thanks, ladies, for hanging out. I'm loving all my peoples. So, if you're on the fence, definitely reach out to any of us. We would love to talk to you and see if the DOO is that right next step for you. So, thank you guys so much, and have a happy Monday. Bye.